Hey, how's it going, fam? It's Don here from Pegi and Don. Today I want to talk about some of the non-food items that Peggy and I have gathered and accumulated over the past few months. A lot of things that, not necessarily for emergencies, but things that will help you live comfortably, help you be able to provide better and try to maintain some of your sanity as well. So I'm going to start from the right hand side over here. These are the items that I think about when I consider a possible power outage. Winter is coming. 3 or 4 days can be pretty harsh for some people. And what are you going to do first thing? I want to start off with my favorite thing that Peggy has gotten now. There's other thing that's more important than this, but it's just so has so many uses. This is this little crank radio. Now, crank radio flashlight. Now, when we did a pantry video before, somebody said make sure you get a crank radio flashlight. So Peggy ordered one. But this is more than that. So we crank it up. You didn't know it was going to be a demonstration video, did you? But you crank it up. Bam. Got a flashlight on here. Got a nice radio so you can get the reports. How bad is the weather?
Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour.
Yeah. How bad is the weather? When are the roads going to be cleared? That kind of stuff. The radio is not dead. But here's why I like this so much. It's also a battery bank. It's got a solar panel on the top. You can charge this entire thing up. And then on the side, it has a USB port to where you can charge your phones. It comes with a little cable like this. And it comes with a little iPhone adapter so you can charge either Android or lightning cable iPhone devices. That is a lot of uses for something that costs less than 20 bucks. It might even cost less than 15 bucks. I'm going to check with Peggy. I'll put a link in the description, but out of the items down here that has the most possible uses during the power outage, this is my favorite one. And it works great. I've been playing with it all day long. So that's the first item on the box. So if power is out, how are you going to cook your food? I don't know if you have an electric stove or whatever else you may have, but you might not be able to use that stuff. So I have this section I call the non-electric food preparation. For those of y'all who've been with us for a while, you may have seen our video about the butane stove. It's a single eye portable little stove that comes in this case right here that we tested out. Works great. It works so good I went out and ordered a whole bunch of butane fuel, and now I have at least 24 cans of butane fuel. A thing about this is you want to make sure you have some good ventilation. It is gas, just like with a gas stove that may be in your home. You want to make sure you have enough proper ventilation. They recommend to use it outside. We're going to use it next to a door or window and just keep the ventilation going. It has worked great for us. We got this from Amazon. Also, I'll have a link in the description for that. I put this on here to remind myself that if the power goes out, upstairs we have electric can openers. Might have to go to the old reliables here. We got like 3 of these. Now, another way of preparing food that we have not done a demonstration of is the little folding stove. It costs $5 or $6 from the Outdoor Bass Pro Shop. It's just a little metal aluminum stove that works with a sterno can. Sterno are inexpensive little cans of fuel that last a couple hours, maybe even 4 hours. All you do is light it and you can keep it going. And you can use that to heat up a pot of coffee or whatever else it is. Stop wasting your butane fuel for coffee and stuff. Peggy has to have her coffee. I enjoy coffee too. Peggy needs her coffee. So this is a very low cost option. Don't take up a lot of space. If you can still find one, I suggest you go out there and get one. Another option for power, other than the crank radio flashlight, is a car power inverter. Now, what this does is it allows you to plug up regular devices. You know, most people got USB ports in their car to charge up their phones. But with this, you can charge up a laptop or something like that, something a little bit bigger. It's not good for coffee pots or toasters in your car. Those things have a huge drain on power. But for stuff like any kind of rechargeable item that doesn't rely on heat, this thing works great for it. 2 outlets. It's got the high-speed ports for cell phone charging as well. And it doesn't cost very much. We got this one from Sun Life. They actually just send it to us to say, hey, This is something you might want to add to your pantry. Check it out. I'm so glad they did. Thank you, Sun Life. Other items. We got this while we was up in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri a while back. Well, a big issue is going to be light. So something like this can be hung from the ceiling. All you do is pull it up. Or if it's hung from the ceiling, pull it down. You got lights up like a small room. Really handy to have. It's LED. The batteries last a very long time. And if I don't mention batteries, please make sure you got batteries for all your electronic devices that require batteries. I wish this was rechargeable, but it's not. But it's still a good thing to have. We also have flashlight, little mini flashlight. You don't want single sources of light or two big lights. People go to the bathroom on their own. They want to be able to see while they're in there, and they still want to close the door. So make sure you have little flashlights for everybody. Or another less expensive item would be a little chem light. We have these little chemical lights where, I know everybody been in the military know about chem lights. All you do is snap it and you get about 6 to 8 hours of light. It says 12 hours. I've never seen it last 12 hours, but we'll see when I break it open. But I know you're good for about 8 hours of light, and you got a little lanyard you can hang it on yourself, so wherever you walk, you got light with you. So that's good to have. That's the light part. Also want to make sure you have lighters. Want to make sure you have lighters for your sterno or whatever purpose, like lighting candles and stuff like that. And of course, lighters run out of fuel. These waterproof matches should last you forever. We would probably never go through this entire package of waterproof matches, and it costs like $2. So another primary concern during a power outage is trying to stay warm. We have a 4K generator, so we're going to be running one space heater. We're going to try to huddle everybody into one room. For the young kids, we're going to use the camp out method, where we're going to try to pretend we're camping and put the kids in a little camping tent, small dome tent in the middle of the room, and that way their body heat can stay inside the tent and keep each other warm. Some other methods that we have down here to try to help out with that is stuff like these hand warmers. Just a little bit of extra heat there, just something added for comfort in case you had to leave the primarily heated room. So now I'm going to look at some of the health and hygiene items. Hygiene is going to be extremely important. Before I do, I want to mention that if you don't have duct tape is the prepper's go-to for like short-term repairs. There's thousands of uses for duct tape. Make sure you have plenty of duct tape, plumbing, electrical, whatever else it is, at least for short-term assistance. I have this chapstick here as a reminder that there's a lot of personal items that individuals have that they use on a daily basis. If you have allergies, that could be something like a nasal spray or something like that, or something to help you sleep at night. Whatever those items are, make sure you have plenty of it. I talked recently about the hand sanitizers. There's a lot of bad hand sanitizers out there. A lot of companies have taken advantage of the situation and put out some unreliable hand sanitizers, even toxic. A lot of hand sanitizers contain methanol. Methanol is toxic can be toxic when it soaks through the skin and gets into the bloodstream. So that's just scary, but something you need to look into. Some other hand sanitizers just don't have enough alcohol in it to be effective. So there's a list, I'll put a link in the description about a list of some hand sanitizer you should try to avoid. It's important to have like soaps and stuff to wash your hands with, as well as stuff to brush your teeth and everything like that. You got to maintain your hygiene. You got to maintain cleanliness. You got to make sure you have detergent to wash your dishes, detergents and soaps to wash your clothes, that kind of thing. No matter how long that you may be sheltering in place, hygiene will still be important because it can affect your health. I'm moving over here to the first aid kit. This is just a basic standard first aid kit we grabbed from Walmart. But whatever you do, make sure you have a little first aid kit around because you want to be able to handle small emergencies for yourself. We also have like some simple saline and some Bactine to make sure that any kind of cuts or scrapes don't get infected. You don't want to go through all these preps and then all of a sudden end up in an emergency room because of a paper cut due to an infection. Vaseline. Vaseline has many uses, but it can also stop bleeding for a small cut. So something to use, something to think about. Vitamins. If you take daily aspirin for heart conditions or stuff like that, Peggy and I take daily vitamin. I take a men's fusion. She takes one a day to try to maintain your health a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot, because that's super important. We also have some other supplements and stuff like that, like apple cider vinegar that we believe in, elderberry and stuff like that. I'm not that good at keeping up with that kind of stuff, but every once in a while Peggy say, hey, take one of these, and we use that as a supplement. We got to also be able to maintain our digestive health. So, you know, we have several things like here, like milk of magnesia, Pepto-Bismol, that kind of stuff. You don't want something like that to be an issue where you absolutely have to go out and get something. So we have that. I remember when the last lockdown happened that stuff like acetaminophen was hard to come by. So we grabbed a large bottle from Costco. I can't remember what the price was, but I feel like we have enough for long-term shelter in place. Winter. Other than just having winter storms, with that comes flus and colds and possible pneumonia. I know in the past couple winters, depending on where you are, you've had somebody say, hey, can you go out and give me some cough syrup or whatever else so I can get through the night and stuff? And they seem miserable. We got the daytime and the nighttime versions. You know, we don't want to be sleepy because all we can find is the nighttime during the middle of the day. And we also have stuff like cough drops and stuff for the winter time. Peggy got one of these easy to read digital thermometers. I'll try to put a link in that in the description. It works really well. And it's also good as an indicator of somebody may be getting sick. I forgot to mention that should we be required to venture out, Peggy got us all some respirators that's a little bit stronger than the N95 mask. And every home should have a fire extinguisher. And so I just want to make sure I mention that. Like I said, this is a very short video. There's a lot of stuff here. This is not everything we have, but it's just like a sampling of what we have. And hopefully it gives you some ideas of some kind of things you may need to get. If you do come with something that didn't mention, make sure you put it in the comment box for our other subscribers, for the rest of the Pegi and Don fam, as we like to call them. And that way we can learn from each other and we can all make sure we have what we need. It's still time to order things, so that's going to be pretty important. I really appreciate you listening. Like I said, like you may have heard, Peggy and I are in an area that's already started the second lockdown. But I have no angst about it. I feel very good. I feel like I have done my diligence. I have done my duty in making sure my family is prepared, and we'll be able to get through no matter how long this particular lockdown lasts. Those out there going out, please don't panic buy. Get what you need. Remember, we are still a community. I appreciate your attention in all of this. Like I said, if you think of something that I didn't mention, please throw that in there. I'd like to thank everybody and remind you to get out there and do something good for yourself and for others as well. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video if you feel like it. And we'll see you next time. Bye, fam.